Alrighty, so let's talk about Tim Walz, and let's do it by first letting you know that I don't know anything about Tim Walz. I know nothing. So we are going to discover who Tim Walz is, and we're going to talk about why we are trying to figure this out. So Tim is the vice presidential pick for Kamala Harris, and I know that a lot of people were betting on either like Buttigieg or Josh Shapiro, and it turns out that no, we're going with Walz. Now, from what I understand, with the little bit of information I have right now about Walz, I understand that he's a decent guy. Some APAC money had made its way to him at some point, but I don't know what the specifics on that are. So where are we at where he's concerned? Well, let's very quickly do some Wikipedia browsing. Whenever there's a new person on a ballot, this is a good idea to do. It's one of the few things you should do. Ballotopedia is also very good. On the Issues is also very good. In fact, actually, on that note, let's go ahead and do this real quick. Tim Walz on the Issues. Let's go ahead and see where that is, if we can actually find the On the Issues pick. Politico's got a whole thing on him. Where is it? The 19th News. I'm not looking for a write-up, though. There used to be a site called On the Issues that was very, very good for this. There we go. Candidates on the Issues. Tim Walz. Send anyway. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at how he is on all of his issues. And we got this up anyway. Early life and education, born in 1964. Had 3 siblings. Graduated from college in 1989, accepted a 1-year teaching position with World Teach in China. After returning, he took a job teaching and coaching in Nebraska. He agreed to be a faculty advisor of a high school. He was part of their first gay-straight alliance. Interesting. Then he enlisted in the military at 17, so before all that. Served in the National Guard for 24 years. Interesting. So all in all, that's not a bad run, and 24 years is certainly a decent time to be in the military. Let's see here. He volunteered for John Kerry's campaign. Okay, interesting. So we've got a guy who grew up, went into the military, and then ended up becoming a teacher. So the narrative you could spin from that is very simply he served his country shortly after getting out of high school and then dedicated his time to helping kids. That's cool. And yeah, faculty sponsor for the Gay Straight Alliance is based as shit. Let's see here. On abortion, he wanted to protect reproductive freedom, including in vitro. Let's see here. Maintain funding for Planned Parenthood. Abortion should always be legal. Budget and economy. Wants to repair critical infrastructure. $1 billion to maintain new and existing state property. Level playing field for working families. Okay, interesting. Enforcement of mortgage fraud. That's good. Okay. On civil rights. For too many getting back to normal isn't good enough. Ooh, that's really good. Let's see here. No discrimination for who people love. Freedom from discrimination. Continue affirmative action against unequal employment. Prohibit sexual identity discrimination at school. Endorsed as preferred by the feminist majority, indicating pro-women's rights. Okay. On corporations, he's rated as an anti-management, pro-labor person with an 86% rating by the UFCW. He wants to eliminate the death penalty, support prison rehabilitation and job training. He wants a full legalization of recreational marijuana. That's good as well. On education, he wants to make it easier for parents to find and pay for childcare, reform school financing, fully fund pre-K through 12, Interesting. Let's see here. Opposes private and religious school voucher programs. So school voucher programs for private and religious schools is how taxes end up paying for private schools. So that's based on all of that. That's good. That's all good. Energy and oil. Invest in statewide electric vehicle charging infrastructure. That's good. Climate change is real and urgent. Good. Reduce our reliance on fossil fuels. Good. Okay, let's see here. On environment... let's see here. Rated 25%, indicating an anti-animal welfare voting record. Voted yes to require GMO labeling, strengthen prohibitions against animal fighting. So not a whole lot when it comes to environmental or animal rights stuff, but that's okay. Can't hit for everything. Families and children plans to modernize state government, put families first. Full marriage equality for same-sex couples. More funding for services for victims of domestic violence. That's good, too. Let's see, foreign policy. Acknowledging the Armenian genocide. Okay. Let's see here. Tim Walz on government reform. Limit corporation campaign donations and disclose all of them. Fantastic. On gun control, students should worry about pop quizzes, not mass shootings. Okay. On healthcare, he wants access to gender-affirming care, supports universal healthcare as early as 2006 on that one. GOP can't beat Obamacare, so they pretend it's a disaster. All in all, and like there's more here, but all in all, man, none of that seems bad. And this is a thing that, again, everybody should do when it comes to a new candidate. If you don't know anything about them, go ahead and look a little bit into what their life is like, how they grew up, look up the policies that they have. And, oh, by the way, look at what the opposition are saying about them. So the Libertarian Party, New Hampshire, says that, Tim Walz has been a leech his entire life. He was a public school teacher, a politician, and a veteran. So he gave his time for his country, and then he gave his time for kids? Seems good to me. Seems fine. Seems like the kind of person I want in politics. Seems like the kind of person who's going to put the people who he cares about first. Interesting. That's not bad at all. I don't hate that, and that lines up with not only his history, and it lines up with his voting record. Okay, that's fine. So, what about libs of TikTok? What are they saying here? Oh, okay. Let's take a look here. Tim Walz signed HF 146 into law. It's a radical transgender trafficking bill that shelters minors who travel across state lines to get trans surgeries. All right, so can we go ahead and address this real quick? Do you remember when all the states were trying to find a way to restrict access to traveling for kids who have parents who recognize that they're trans and kids who end up getting raped and need to get abortions? Do you remember, like, in Ohio when the girl got raped and couldn't get an abortion in Ohio, apparently, and everybody was like, oh yeah, no, just let her travel to get the abortion somewhere where she can. And then politicians started fighting to restrict travel. This seems to be the shit that Libs of TikTok is on. But let's go and see what it says here. What are transgender trafficking bills? Allow minors to travel across state lines for transgender procedures, including breast binders. That's not a trans procedure. That's just fucking tape. Penis tucking. That's not a trans procedure. That's what happens when I wake up uncomfortable in the morning. Let's see here. Irreversible drugs. If you're talking about HRT, there are some effects of HRT that are reversible. If we're talking about puberty blockers, those are entirely reversible. Double mastectomies. So you mean those things that kids with early onset breast cancer end up having to get anyway to starve the cancer cells from being able to survive? Feel like we already do those surgeries for cis kids when they need them anyway, and we don't generally do those surgeries on kids in the first place unless we're in very, very particular situations. And castration. Again, I don't have any examples of us castrating kids. I don't have any of that. Altfact says, "Is YouTube chat broken?" It's broken, and it's probably not coming back. I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm done with YouTube chat being constantly fucked. Yeah, gotta cross state lines to tuck, apparently, according to Libs of TikTok. My God, fucking going on. Parents will be denied custody of their children based on their refusal to consent to horrific transgender medical procedures. It's only horrific in the same way that every other surgery is horrific. So, okay, the Libertarian Party hates Tim Walz because he's too based, I guess, and Libs of TikTok hates Tim Walz because he's too based, I guess. Well, what does he do with school stuff, right? Like, he worked in school faculties, so what was he doing there? Walz signs universal school meal bills into Minnesota law. You know, I'm really starting to feel like these people just want me to vote for Kamala Harris to get Walz in. Just for Walz. Hell, reverse the ticket. Keep Kamala as VP. Put Walz back at the front. Feeding the children. Great. Good thing to do. Feeding kids is an objectively good thing to do. What else could you sell me on? I wonder how he feels about debating the other vice president in the room. Let's see what he says about that.
Like all regular people I grew up with in the heartland, JD studied at Yale. Had his career funded by Silicon Valley billionaires, and then wrote a bestseller trashing that community. Come on! That's not what middle America is. And I gotta tell you, I can't wait to debate the guy.
Okay. He's charismatic. I'll give him that.
That is if he's willing to get off the couch and show up. So.
All right, everybody. JD Vance fucked a couch, and our vice president pick is willing to call him out on being a couch fucker. Okay. That's where we're at. We've got a dude who funds school lunches for kids, was part of the gay-straight alliance well before marriage equality was mainstream. We've got a guy who served his country for 24 years, and ended up leaving after 24 years. And 24 years is a perfectly fine military career. I've seen Republicans try to get angry at that for him leaving before being deployed to Iraq because his contract expired before going to Iraq. Is it not enough he served his country? Is it not enough he served his country from age 17 up? Dude was a fucking teacher. Dude is good on a bunch of issues. We can seriously look at his quote and vote record here and see that he just seems like a decent dude, right? Like, I'm sorry, but anybody that's trying to tell me that any of these policies or opinions that he has are bad things, it confuse the fuck out of me. Either you're too far right to have a brain cell, or you're so far left that the only thing you'll accept is a communist who's never actually gonna get hired in the first place, because unfortunately this is capitalist America, so that's not gonna happen. We have to think practically here. This just seems like the perfect pick. This just seems like the perfect pick. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Insert into video tagline here. Hey, just wanted to give a quick thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who help keep me afloat and help keep this channel going. YouTube and Twitch are wonderful platforms, but at the end of the day, stability is not one of their strong suits. If you want to support my channel, then obviously Patreon is one of the best ways of doing that. Link is in the description. But I do want to personally thank everybody who has contributed to the channel. Those people would be Red Joker, Purple Poundini, Jemshin, Britzkrieg, Jupe the Malignant, Michael, Ravalern, Mabbity Babbity, Astral Frontier, Autumn and Angel, Nixie Chan, Mark Anthony, Victorian Alchemist, I'm not saying the last part of that, and you know that, Arcton Arclacier, Kiratorian, Dren Hadamada, Jordan M, John L, Lord Bleck, Smiling Game Master, and Fireshard. And everyone else who supports my channel and lets me do what I do full time. This is a dream job of mine that I never believed that I would be able to take full time, and with your help, I've been able to do it. So thank you so very much for that. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you all enjoy, and I hope you all are having a wonderful time. I will see you all in the next one, hopefully.